What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. This is a sketchbook tour video. Obviously this was the first sketchbook tour, so this video is going to showcase, a sketchbook that I have. It's very old, got a lot of old drawings. What I want to do is pretty much start as early as possible, and pretty much throughout the other videos of sketchbook tours, you'll see like a progress, a development, and let's get right into it. Yeah, this sketchbook is, I believe this is from 2001. I don't even remember. This is so old. Look at it. It's not even a sketchbook anymore. It's falling apart. But anyway, Pokemon. I don't even remember this guy's name. This is Luigi Meowth from the, what was that, Team Rocket? Yeah, Team Rocket crew. And I don't even remember this guy. Yeah, man, I like anime, you know what I mean? But I wasn't really that into Pokemon, but I would draw some Pokemon characters every now and then. But I was really a big fan of Pokemon, and I was more so like into Dragon Ball Z. And even then, I didn't even draw that many Dragon Ball Z stuff. But anyway, so yeah, that's Pokemon. And going forward, go right into some video games. Some of my favorite fighting video games back in the day was Street Fighter, mostly Mortal Kombat games. And this particular picture is from Mortal Kombat. I think you zoom out a little bit. There we go. This particular picture is from Mortal Kombat Gold for the Dreamcast. So here you got Shinnok posing. And I don't know if the original picture had him with this power. I don't remember, but maybe I probably put that in there. I don't know. They got Goro behind him, and he's pretty much like the boss of that game, both of them. And yeah, so that's Goro and that's Shinnok. Going forward, you got Cyrax. Pretty simple pose. I think that was also from Mortal Kombat. Same game, yeah, Mortal Kombat Go. That's the same actual pose. So all these pictures are pretty much just straight copies that I've done. There's nothing really original yet until this piece right here. So let me kind of zoom out a bit so you can get it. I'm always messing up this thing. So yeah, I could just put the other side down. Like I said, man, it's not even a sketchbook anymore. I mean, it was. So yeah, so this character, obviously, Mortal Kombat fans, they know who this is. It's Motaro from Mortal Kombat 3. But here I did something interesting. Here I decided to take, well, the part that's pretty much the horse or whatever, that creature. Since their form of centaur is a little different, I pretty much made this up on my own, I believe, at the time, if memory serves me correct. That's pretty simple to do, It's a metallic tail and just made it shiny. The torso and the arm, I believe I copied that from, it was a comic book page. It was just a page. Somebody just had a page, and I just copied. I think it was a villain on there. I got a feeling it might have been Apocalypse, because looking at the arm and looking at all these tubes going behind him, that looks like awful lot like Apocalypse. So I just pretty much did like the form, and I obviously didn't copy much of the details of Apocalypse, because he has a lot more going on than just the shape of the abs and all that stuff. But anyway, I copied that and pretty much put the horse on, put that on top of the horse, and then voila, it was sort of my little made-up version of Motaro. And then this part I probably did on my own, I believe. Yeah, so Ultimate Motaro, there you go. Good look at that, yeah. So yeah, you see my shading skills a lot different than what it is now. So it's just to kind of show you guys, you know, I didn't just jump right into some, you know, premium detail skills that you see going on in the other videos and stuff. You know, this is a slow development, like over a long period of time. Let me change the camera a little bit. I think most of these pictures are a little vertical. There we go. So yeah, so this is another case of me taking some IPs and merging them together. So the overall thing is a character from Mortal Kombat Gold. I decided not to draw from the actual image they had of that character. I figured I was gonna just do it on my own, but by doing it on my own, I was gonna merge different, you know, characters together. So the face was pretty much Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, and at the time it was a picture of her, but it was done in a comic book style. So you get a good look at that, you can see. Yeah, I wish I had somebody holding the camera, man. Shoot. So yeah, it's a little crooked and stuff, but anyway. And the weapon that she has, I believe there was a game back then called Gauntlet Legend. And I believe there was a character known as the Valkyrie. And she had like a crystal sword and a shield. Like, I believe that's where it came from. So I think I took the sword and the shield from that game and then pretty much gave it to her. And then, yeah, it's a whole different, you know, Tanya. Tanya is a character from Mortal Kombat Gold. I believe she was a new character to that particular game. I don't know if she was in the Mortal Kombat 4, because I know Gold was pretty much like a special edition for Mortal Kombat 4, exclusively for the Dreamcast, I think. If memory serves me correct, I don't remember. But yeah, that's Tanya. And then here we got Siegfried. I'm a big fan of Soul Calibur games, mostly the first one, because I felt like the character design was much better. Over the years, they seem to have gotten a lot, you know, I don't know, very anime-ish, you know. But this game, it kind of introduced you to characters, you know, that pretty much, I mean, for example, Siegfried. I mean, obviously this guy is a knight, and the game set place like where, the medieval times or something like that, or the 15th century, if I'm correct. So obviously you got somebody who's from that time. You know, you look at Siegfried, he looks like someone who could, you know, who could be from that time period. You know what I'm saying? You look at the detail in the armor, some parts, like even parts like here, I kind of simplified them, you know, because I didn't know what the hell I was drawing. But obviously this is a copy from the 3D rendering that they have of Siegfried for the first Soul Calibur game. And when you look at that image, you see this part and this part, you know, there's a lot of detail. You know, at that time when I was doing this, like I said, I didn't know what I was looking at, so I just did a bunch of scribbles and stuff. So I'm saying that to say, you know, over the years, what you have now with Siegfried, and like, especially even now in Soul Calibur 6, it's like, it's very anime-ish with the designs. And I mean, it's cool, but I prefer the historical representation of the characters, you know what I'm saying? Even though they kind of had a fantasy twist. I mean, look at this guy. He got this huge sword. I mean, that's impossible to just carry around like that. But it made it interesting. You know what I mean? It made the character interesting. When I first saw this, I wanted the game right away. So in terms of looks, this was one of my favorite characters from the franchise, from that particular game, Soul Calibur 1. But yeah, so that's Siegfried right there. Proportion-wise, this joint is way off, man. You look at this leg, it almost look as huge as the head up here. Yeah, I was not paying attention to stuff like that, but hey, interesting thing. Going forward with the channel, I will be doing some Soul Calibur characters, and he's one of them, so look out for that. Alright, so that's it for Soul Calibur. Right now we're going to some little comedic cartoon. This was I don't know if anybody knows this, but this is a character Thurgood from the PJs cartoon. It was a cartoon. It was like what is it? Stop motion. I think it was like stop motion and stuff. With like clay characters, like clay design. But yeah, the joint was funny to me, man. So I loved it, and it was on with starring Eddie Murphy as Thurgood. Pretty much what was that? Superintendent of an apartment building in the projects. Yeah, but I like that. I don't know. I give him a Yankee hat. I don't think he ever had a Yankee hat, but. So this is a character I came up with. I'm gonna stay right here. Yeah, there's not much down there. It's just a name, and the name to me is kind of corny. I don't know why I went with that name. But anyway, it's a character that I wanted to develop. I kind of had the idea to create like a ninja cross with a samurai cross with some other type of warrior and then give him powers. I guess the idea came from this game I used to play with my cousin from back in the day called Ninja Shadow in Darkness. I think that's what the game was called for the PlayStation. And you play as a ninja, and you know, eventually he'll start to like collect, I guess, certain abilities that grant him elemental powers. So the idea was, I guess, from that, I think, or inspired by that, I guess. But the style that I wanted to put into the drawing was similar to what you see in The Legend of Zelda. For like, I think I saw a picture of Link from the I don't remember the game for the 64, but it was one of those games that came out for the 64. The style they did with the drawing of Link, I like that style. It was like a deep shadow, deep dark shadow. So I wanted to kind of implement that into this drawing. And also with some hatches. You can see like there's some hatches there. Just a little bit of hatches that I saw in that drawing, so I wanted to kind of put that in there as well. And I think, I don't know, I think I guess it's all right. I mean, this is probably the first original piece in this book, you know, inspired by other properties out there. But yeah, so that's that. Soul Samurai, it's called. I just say samurai. That's corny. But anyway, going forward, you got the mini Street Fighters. I saw this in a game magazine, a video game magazine back in the day. So I just said, you know what, let me draw this real quick. Whenever I was bored, I'll just draw stuff from a magazine. So these were just straight copies that I did. Y'all know these guys are Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li. You know what I mean? Oh, crap. See my sketchbooks, so-called sketchbooks falling apart, y'all. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Got a good look at them. How you looking? Alright, I don't know if you can see through the paper, but it's Dragon Ball Z coming up. I did other Dragon Ball Z characters, but on loose paper mostly. But man, them drawings, I put up a post. It was a temporary post on my Instagram, and I just did it just to show people that, yo, I came from humble beginnings, man. It was never like this. Even at this point, the stuff that I did on loose paper was just like, it was way back in the day. But this, I don't even know what character this is. It got the M on the top of him, so I don't know if that's a Majin Buu. Yo, don't crucify me, man. I'm not really big on Dragon Ball Z. I used to watch it, and I still do. I started watching the first Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball with Goku. I just started watching that recently because, there's a lot of stuff I had missed from, the franchise. I didn't catch this. Yeah, I didn't get the Frieza saga, man. I didn't catch the Frieza saga, the Majin Buu saga. The only saga I saw was some of the Vegeta saga, and some of the Cell Saga, and that was it. That's all I know with Dragon Ball Z. But I don't even know what Guy is. So a lot of y'all Dragon Ball Z fans out there, I'm pretty sure y'all could chime in the comment section. Let me know what Guys this is, man. Like I said, I'm trying to watch the whole thing over. I started with Dragon Ball a couple weeks ago, and I'm almost halfway through that whole, the whole Dragon Ball saga, the Goku. But anyway, that's loose. So here we got one of my favorite comic book characters, Blade. I believe this was from the DVD cover. Yo, just ignore all these little writings I put on. I don't know why I did all that, man. It's like got glyphs, and it got like Chinese, Japanese writing, I think. Cause I just thought it was cool, and I just wrote all that stuff on there. I didn't know what it means. I'm pretty sure somebody, would probably look at it and be like, yo, that has nothing to do with Blade. But anyway, I was young and I didn't know what I was doing. But this came out alright. But to see the quality of this sketch pad is really bad. And then two, I didn't know how to really, I didn't know anything about fixatives. So as you can see, this just smudged all over the paper over the years. Yeah, this thing is old, man. Like I said, from the early 2000s, man. I never kept this in good condition. Alongside it just not having good quality, it was just enough for it to just start ripping apart. But the good thing is the drawings are still recognizable. That's still cool. And this is my version of Blade. Trying to do my own thing with the character. So yeah, I guess he's shooting. Just ignore that, because that coming out of a gun, I think that's a serum, or what is that? It looked like a needle I drew. I guess it's something to one of them things that you stick the vampires with. I forgot what they called it, man. They showed it in the movie. It was like a blue liquid. It just made them explode. Yeah, that thing would crack coming out of this. They wouldn't even make it out intact. I should have drew a bullet, but anyway. Like I said, man, I'm young, I ain't know no better. So, man, here we got, who we got here? Man, look at this guy. Pretty sure any of y'all who study, watch anime a lot, especially the serious animes, what this guy is. This Gatsu right here, man. Now, I was first introduced to this character. See, it says sort of Berserk, Guts Rage. I was first introduced to this character through the Dreamcast game, And that's the name of it, actually. The Sword of the Berserk, Guts Rage. Yeah, that was a Dreamcast game, and that's how I was introduced to this character. And it was interesting going into the franchise in that type of way, because I didn't know anything about the manga, the anime series. I didn't know squat about anything about Berserk. All I saw was a video game. I just saw a Dreamcast game cover with a guy on there with a sword, and I'm like, damn, that joint look cool as hell, you know what I mean? I'm like, that's like a fun ass game, man. I'm about to just go ahead and get that and see what it's about. And that's how it started for me. That game, it was done in such a way that I just felt like, I felt like there's more. The way it finished, the way the game completed, the storyline completed, it just felt like, there's more to this world than this game. And it turns out, there is a whole collection of mangas out there. And it's some crazy stuff, man. Like you thought like all these other characters you see just been through some stuff. Yeah, this is like serious. This is the real deal right here. This is serious stuff right here, man. Like some serious real life craziness. You know what I'm saying? So just put in a nutshell, this character been through a lot. you know, and him having this huge sword and just, you know, being berserk, you know, you get it. You know what I mean? It makes sense. You've been through the amount of stuff that this guy's been through, man. You go berserk as well. Get a little close up. And then, yeah, unfortunately, you know, this kind of got smudged up. This was a copy, as a matter of fact, I believe, of a concept art that he did for the game. So it's not even from the manga or anything. Yeah, because at this time, I didn't even know the manga existed. I didn't even know it exists. But yeah, that's him. And that's a Dragon Slayer. That's the name of the sword. It's a big ass sword, man. This sword is huge. Yeah, his head is a little crooked though, man. But yeah, like I said, when I drew back then, I never paid attention to proportion and all the, you know, the important stuff. So anyway, I think that's it. Oh yeah, I got a few more. Trying to get this thing right. So there's another Goro I did. And I believe I must have did this in the classroom or something. It's on noble paper. So, you know, I'm one of them artists. I'm sure you hear a lot of artists on here that, you know, they tell you that they're in class and they just start drawing. Yeah, I was that artist as well. And I was just drawing all my notebooks and stuff. But a lot of them stuff was like scribble. This was like one detailed drawing I did back then. And it was from memory. It was crazy. I didn't have no reference for this. It's like I saw a lot of comic books. You know, I never really read comic books, but I look at like pictures people had, like, you know, people had like video game magazines or like comic book with like, you know, some X-Men or whatever franchise it was. You know, there's a particular way they used to draw, like they draw the characters. So that kind of stayed in my memory. So I was able to just cook this up real quick while I was in class. And mind you, this was a long time ago, so obviously right now as I look at it, I'm like, yeah, it's a lot of errors here. It's a lot of room for improvement. But anyway, yeah, it's an old drawing. So get out of here. And back to one of my favorite fighting games, Soul Calibur. And like I said, going forward, you know, I will be doing some characters, not this guy. So yeah, so don't get your hopes up for him. I'm not doing Mr. Rugi. I'm not interested in drawing that. But I will be doing him. Killick. I believe this is from the cover. This is an anime concept art they had for Mr. Rugi. And this was a 3D rendering of Killick on the video game cover. So yeah. I don't know what it is, man. I had to draw the name because I liked how the name looked. You know what I mean? I love how they designed the name Soul Calibur for the first game. Over the years, just take a look at this and take a look at like all the names going forward. Soul Calibur 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like, man, compare that to that. It's like, what's wrong with just keeping this and just add 2, 3? I'm just saying, maybe it's just me, but I like the logo design for the first game better than the rest. That's just me. And this is a samurai I came up with. Yeah. So you see, as you can see, the sketchbook kind of give you an idea of the stuff that I like to draw mostly. Pretty much figures, you know, characters and stuff. You know, whether it's characters on my own or some fan art characters. You know, from a video game or a cartoon or any pop culture type figure. So yeah, I think that's it. Yep, that's it, man. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This is the first sketchbook tour. There will be more, and we'll see how everything goes. You know, I'll try to make the current ones. I'll try to make it a little bit more interesting. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this video, and be sure to subscribe and share with your friends. And yeah, see you next time.